shot in 4K ultra high definition. Your number one source for local news. WRAL News. Coverage you can count on.
Our next weather maker is first high fire threat for today, and then Thursday, tomorrow, the chance of frost. I'll walk you through it.
New details. Today, the person charged in a stolen car crash that killed a man in Durham is due in court, where police say they found that driver hiding in the aftermath of the crash.
And health care reform. Today, nurses from across the state will be in Raleigh to meet with lawmakers. The changes they are seeking in the name of improving care for patients. 4:30 is the time right now as we get our Wednesday started here together. Thanks for making us part of your routine. I'm Jeff Hogan.
And I'm Renee Chu. Great to have you with us. If you thought that maybe it was a little too warm, well, we're just going to bring things down just a little bit, like nicely in the 60s, at least for the highs. Meteorologist Elizabeth Gardner in the WRAL Severe Weather Center will need a jacket this morning.
Yeah, it's still going to be a really pretty day. We got pretty weather in the forecast all the way into Saturday. We'll take a live look at Lewisburg. Our skies are clearing this morning. Temperatures are cool, looking at 45 degrees. Right now our wind is light, but that wind is likely to pick up as we get through the day today. It's a cold 34 in Roxborough, 40 in South Hill. A little bit of chill kind of working its way in. Our wind's coming out of the northwest this morning, so temperatures will continue to drop a little bit, especially down here in Fayetteville, Clinton, and Goldsboro, where temperatures are in the low 50s. I would expect those spots to drop on into the 40s. Brush fire risk again is high today. We still have low humidity and some gusty winds in our forecast, and so you want to put off outdoor burning again today. Temperatures this afternoon just climbing up to around 65, but lots of sunshine. Should feel nice. We're going to talk a little bit in more detail about who could see frost tomorrow morning coming up.
Thanks, Elizabeth. Today, nurses from across the state will gather at the Legislative Building where we give you this live look right now. They're pushing for changes to health care legislation. WRAL's Kelsey Coffey is live at Halifax Mall. Kelsey, lawmakers are considering several health care reform bills today.
Yes, they are, and we're expecting to see hundreds of nurses here at Halifax Mall for a rally later today about this potential legislation. The North Carolina Nurses Association is organizing today's rally. This group supports policy advocacy and access to quality, affordable health care. Governor Josh Stein is scheduled to speak to nurses at the Raleigh Convention Center this morning. Then those attendees plan to walk towards Halifax Mall for the rally. After that, they will meet with lawmakers and attend committee hearings. Now, Governor Stein is scheduled to speak this morning at 10 at the Raleigh Convention Center, and then the rally is scheduled for 1 o'clock here at Halifax Mall. Kelsey Coffey, WRAL News, live in Raleigh.
And we'll be staying on top of all these developments today in the state legislature. Just watch WRAL News from 4 to 7:30 this evening.
Today, a Durham man is expected in court on a murder charge in connection with the crash of a stolen car that killed a man. Court documents show 20-year-old Chiron Evans is charged in the death of 53-year-old Jermaine Clements. Authorities accuse Evans of stealing a car on Mount Moriah Road last week. That car crashed into a vehicle early last Wednesday on US 15501. Clements, who was in that other vehicle, was killed. Arrest warrants claim Evans was found hiding in a car at a nearby Kia dealership.
Tonight, loved ones of a 7-year-old boy who drowned in the Tar River will hold a candlelight memorial service in his honor. This is Ronald Brody, Jr. Search crews pulled his body from the river in Franklin County yesterday, more than a week after he fell in that water. Ronald's family thanked first responders who spent more than 100 hours searching 11 miles of that river and shoreline. They also reflected on Ronald's smile and the memories they have of him.
He was just the sweetest little boy. Like, my little cousin he was something you can just play with all the time. It's a hard pill to lose anyone. It's extremely hard when you lose a child.
Tonight's vigil is at 6 o'clock on Hodges Road near Franklinton. It is open to the public.
Tonight, Raleigh Mayor Janet Cowell will deliver her first State of the City address. WRAL's Laura Levine is outside Raleigh Convention Center this morning. And Laura, Mayor Cowell also plans to talk about her vision for the city's future.
Renee, good morning. Mayor Janet Cowell plans to give a speech here today at the Raleigh Convention Center, really highlighting the key areas of focus for City Council during her term. She also plans to address those accomplishments of the City Council's first 100 days. That will include top priorities she ran on during the mayoral race. One of her biggest concerns has been really public housing and ending homelessness. She previously said that her goal was to diversify the types of housing that can be built around the city to begin addressing this issue. Another top priority for her is public safety. The mayor wants to increase pay for police officers and also expand the number of officers in our city. And you can hear more about the mayor's vision and future of the city of Raleigh under her plans for City Council tonight at this event, which begins at 6 p.m. Laura Levine, WRAL News, live in Raleigh.
No one is hurt after this house fire in Raleigh. The WRAL breaking news tracker was on the scene right on the first on the scene at Tunis Street, not far from Lewisburg here, Mitchell Mill Roads. Authorities say the fire started about 9 o'clock last night, and they say it was a minor fire. No one was home at the time. There's no word on how that fire may have started.
New this morning, in a statement released after 11:30 last night, Durham Superintendent Anthony Lewis says it is essential that Durham educators get a seat at the table in the district's decision making. Lewis made the statement after hundreds rallied outside Durham Public Schools Staff Development Center last night. The Durham Association of Educators is pushing for a meet and confer policy and union recognition. Their priorities include budget transparency and fixing the transportation crisis. Right now, 3 out of 7 school board members are backing the educators in their push.
Our outcome tonight was really also hoping that we could encourage one more board member to vote in favor of our policy.
I don't get a chance to dictate who they bring to the table, and I feel strongly that they shouldn't get to dictate who I bring to the table.
In his statement, Lewis said he will reach out to the educators with dates for future negotiations. The Durham School Board will meet tomorrow night.
Today marks 6 months since Hurricane Helene began battering western North Carolina. Today, more than a dozen local leaders from that region will be in Washington, D.C. to raise awareness for their ongoing recovery and long-term needs. Representatives from several communities will meet with senior leaders from FEMA, the White House, and Capitol Hill. Their trip to D.C. comes after the launch of the Western North Carolina Recovery and Resilience Partnership. The community-led effort is working to secure financial support, resources, and policy changes to help their recovery and rebuilding.
Covering Wake County, school board members are expressing their skepticism over proposed budget cuts. Superintendent Robert Taylor plans to ask county commissioners for $40 million more. He's also looking to cut more than $18 million to help balance the budget. That means cutting many staff members, including 20 school counselors and social workers. Board members said those cuts would put more responsibilities on employees. The superintendent is also proposing to cut the district's contribution to employee dental insurance.
Raleigh's new police chief will officially be sworn in next week. A ceremony for Chief Rico Boyce will be held next Wednesday at 6 p.m. at Southeast Raleigh Magnet High School. It'll be open to the public. Boyce has been with the department for 25 years, most recently as deputy chief. The city named him to take over for retiring Chief Estella Patterson at the end of February.
Calendar changes. The start of your child's school year may be moving up. Who's pushing for it? And the major industry in the state that's against the idea.
And this one's for North Carolina. The major recognition Petey Pablo's hip-hop anthem, Raise Up, is being considered for.
And you'll want to grab your coat when you head out this morning. Temperatures right now in the 40s. This is a live look at glittery North Hills. Meteorologist Elizabeth Gardner is back after the break with the warm-up that's ahead for our weekend and the storm chances going along with it.
442, taking a look across the area. Skies are nice and clear. The wind is fairly light right now, but we will have breezy conditions later on this afternoon. Wilson looking pretty quiet there at the Whirligig Park. 50 degrees in Wilson, 45 in Durham, and 51 degrees in Fayetteville. Temperatures are down into the mid-30s, though, in Roxborough. Look at that, 34 right now. It's 43 in Cary, 44 in Garner, 42 degrees in Holly Springs. So we do have a wide range in our temperature. Last night we had a disturbance roll through, and the wind has shifted to northwesterly, and so that's why we're starting to cool down a bit in our northern counties. 20s. Our dog walking forecast today, temperatures will likely be in the 40s as you're walking the dog this morning, and we'll see a cool but sunny mid-60s for this afternoon. Our next weather maker comes over the weekend with a chance of some showers and thunderstorms. We'll talk about our severe risk coming up.
Elizabeth, thanks. A doctor from our area is working in Gaza as tensions escalate in the Israel-Hamas war. Dr. Mark Perlmutter shared this video with us after an Israeli airstrike hit the hospital where he was working in southern Gaza over the weekend. This is his second trip volunteering his services in Gaza, where more than 50,000 Palestinians have now been killed since the start of the war. Dr. Perlmutter has worked in disaster zones around the world for decades. He says this is the worst he's ever seen.
I've seen misery and I've seen death, but none of it comes close combined to what I've seen in Gaza the first week last year or the night of the bombing this year.
For safety reasons, Dr. Perlmutter wasn't able to share how long his current trip will be. He tells us he already has plans to return in about 6 months.
Today, Agriculture Commissioner Steve Troxler will be in Polk County to address the response to wildfires there, as well as the status of the statewide burn ban. More than 1,000 acres have been scorched in 3 fires. Polk County just launched an interactive map that shows which areas are under evacuation and who needs to be on standby. Right now, dozens of evacuations are related to the fires. It's unclear how many buildings have been damaged. Debris from Hurricane Helene is fueling this fire.
And Jeff, from North Carolina to South Carolina, mandatory evacuations are in order there because of the wildfires burning. This is from the South Carolina Forestry Commission. This is actually a live look here. This is the Table Rock webcam. Specifically, they are telling people to evacuate from Greenville and Pickens counties. Emergency crews there actively working to contain the fire. They do list several roads in Greenville County and Pickens County to avoid. They advise to follow the South Carolina Forestry Commission for updates, and they say avoid that area if you are not evacuating.
Police in Cary are investigating reports of vandalism on Tesla charging stations. Messages written on charging stations on O'Kelly Chapel Road call Elon Musk, President Donald Trump, and Attorney General Pam Bondi fascists. Other marks on the chargers include swastikas and the word Nazi. Reports of vandalism against Teslas are growing nationwide in protest of Musk's role in the federal government.
The school year could start earlier under a new bill. North Carolina Senate Leader Phil Berger and 2 other senators filed a bill that would allow schools to start the year a week earlier than what's currently allowed. It would also strip some money from school boards that refuse to comply with it. Berger says it is time for a compromise between school districts, which prefer an earlier start, and the tourism industry, which prefers the later start. Wake County School Board Chairman Chris Haggerty has long pushed for an earlier start date.
A majority of our state legislators, urban, rural, Democrat, Republican, all support more calendar flexibility, but it's been held up year after year. So this is an encouraging move.
If the bill becomes law, it would also require schools that start earlier to end before Memorial Day.
P.D. Pablo's rap anthem, Raise Up, may become North Carolina's official hip-hop song. The state Senate introduced the bill. Raise Up was released in 2001 as a tribute to North Carolina. It's been used as the Carolina Hurricanes goal song, as well as in other celebratory ways. P.D. Pablo's real name is Moses Barrett III. He was born and raised in Greenville, North Carolina. And last year, he was inducted into the North Carolina Music Hall of Fame.
Well, we deserve an anthem, don't we? We should have an anthem.
Yeah.
We're going to raise up some temperatures at a certain point. Anyway, not today and not into tomorrow
this
morning.
Weekend.
Yeah, exactly.
Definitely. Back into
Soon
the
enough,
80s.
but
yeah.
cold tomorrow morning.
Yeah, temperatures are already dropping into the 30s in a few spots this morning, but tomorrow morning will be even colder, and I'll show you why. This is a live look at Zebulon this morning. Notice the flags here on the town hall lawn are still, but as we get through the day today, our winds will pick up, and that means we'll have high fire danger again. Temperatures are in the mid-40s in the Triangle. We'll hold it there up until around 9 or 10, and then we'll begin to climb on up into the mid-60s for highs this afternoon. It is a chilly 34 in Roxborough, so there could be some patchy frost there this morning. We do have a frost advisory that's in effect for tomorrow morning for our northern counties. 45 in Durham and Raleigh right now, 51 in Fayetteville, and 52 degrees in Clinton. We zoom in, widespread mid-40s across the triangle, 43 in Cary, 44 Apex, 44 in Garner. It's 40 degrees right now in Chapel Hill. So wind speeds right now are calm, but as we watch this through the morning and into the afternoon, after lunchtime, we'll see winds gusting 15, maybe up to around 20 miles per hour. And with the dry conditions that remain, we do have high fire danger again today across the entire viewing area. It'll be cooler than yesterday, 65 in Raleigh, 64 Durham, 69 in Fayetteville, but still really pleasant out there. We'll have a northwesterly wind, and it'll be a little cool, but again, real pretty out there. Of course, we have high tree pollen, and that is going to be the case, really all the way through probably the end of May. So, we just have to settle in and take some deep breaths about it. This is a look at our temperature potential for tomorrow. 32 Roxborough, 34 South Hill and Roanoke Rapids, 34 in Lewisburg. And so it's those northern counties that have the risk for some frost tomorrow morning. You can see that in the morning, that potential for some freezing conditions. We take a look at our temperature above or below normal. The blue shaded area is where temperatures are below normal. And we'll see that for today and definitely into tomorrow. You can see how that blue shaded area really bumps up. But then once we get to the weekend, temperatures are jumping up above normal. So we're still looking at high temperature of 80 degrees on Saturday, Sunday into Monday. We have the chance of thunderstorms, possibly some severe storms. We'll take a look at that potential coming up.
Elizabeth, thanks. New burger in town. We'll tell you where the first Whataburgers in North Carolina are opening this summer and when you can expect the chain to arrive here in the Triangle.
Also in the next half hour, bathroom ban. Details of the new legislation North Carolina Republicans are pushing and how it compares to the controversial HB 2 from 2016. .452 right now, your Wednesday morning. We'll give you this beautiful look from our WRAL Live Cam Network. Fenton in Cary, live right now. Mid-40s the temperature is right now. We're going to lose some of those degrees tomorrow morning for certain. A global energy company is bringing new jobs and robotics tech to the Triangle. WRAL's Liz McLaughlin shows us what Schneider Electric's $700 million investment means for North Carolina.
Schneider Electric is building a new robotics and motion center in Mooresville, part of a major expansion aimed at speeding up and modernizing manufacturing.
The time is right because of the increase in demand for automation and robotics.
Mark Duncan is a segment marketing manager for Schneider Electric. He says the French-based company is creating more than 1,000 jobs nationwide, part of a $700 million investment by 2027.
So Raleigh is a wonderful place for that because of obviously the universities around us, so we can pull from the schools for engineering talent. We also know that North Carolina is a place where a lot of investment is going for new facilities, new factories, for industrial automation is going to play a real role in automating those facilities.
The company already builds 5 types of industrial robots and plans to expand that lineup in the new lab, scheduled to open by the end of summer.
This lab gives us a sense of the scale Schneider Electric is planning. The new Robotics and Motion Center will be about this size and show off cutting-edge automation from cobots to AI-enhanced systems designed to reshape the way products are made.
The company's also investing in energy management tools, including software to help utilities keep up with rising energy demand.
We're going to need a lot of software and hardware. A lot of the software and AI will be a solution, even as it's also sort of contributing to the consumption of electricity.
From robotics to grid tech, Schneider Electric says it's building for the future and putting North Carolina at the center of it. Liz McLaughlin, WRAL News.
The manufacturing industry faces a growing labor shortage projected to reach almost 2 million unfilled jobs by 2033. Schneider says automation can help fill that gap while also creating more skilled job opportunities.
In less than 2 weeks, the 5th and final Dreamville Festival will take over Raleigh's Dix Park. Organizers released the food and drink lineup. More than 75 restaurants, food trucks, and chefs are expected at this year's festival. General admission and General Admission Plus tickets are sold out. VIP tickets are still available. The festival will be held Saturday, April 5th and Sunday, April 6th at Dix Park in Raleigh. Lil Wayne headlines Saturday night. J. Cole will headline on Sunday.
North Carolina is getting its first Whataburger restaurants this summer. Foodies in Raleigh got a little taste of what's to come earlier this week when the popular Texas-based food chain set up a food truck in downtown Raleigh. Whataburger's first locations in our state are planned in Gastonia, Hickory, Charlotte, Greensboro, and Winston-Salem. Raleigh's will open in 2026 on Falls of Noose Road. Locations are also planned for Cary and Durham.
Never had one, but it looks good. George Clooney is now the owner of a Broadway record. His play Good Night and Good Luck brought in $3.3 million last week. That's a Broadway box office record for a non-musical play. The play is based on the movie Clooney starred back in 2005. Chronicling the life of journalist Edward R. Murrow. It broke a record set just 2 weeks ago by Othello, starring Denzel Washington and Jake Gyllenhaal.
New signs at Raleigh's Wooten Meadow Park educate visitors about green storm water infrastructures. The park is on Millbrook Road, and you can help document the progress using the visual monitoring station there. It's the place there to put your phone so you can take a picture, upload it, and compare it to other pictures taken from that same angle.
A push for change. Today, nurses are gathering in Raleigh to meet with state lawmakers. The policy reform they're working toward and how it could change the care you receive.
A missing man, where he was last seen, and the call for help his family is making.
And a chilly start to your Wednesday. We have a live look at Sanford right now. Meteorologist Elizabeth Gardner is tracking the wild temperature swings that will have us back near 80 degrees for the weekend.